Susan, we're live now.
All right, thanks, Cody.
Thanks, Cody. We're going to call the meeting to order. Teresa, would you call the roll, please?
Absolutely. Michelle. Dr. Wilson here. Michelle.
I'm here. Sorry.
Rita. Here. Noel. Here. Brent.
Here.
Dr. Pandolfi. Lori. Michael.
Here.
John.
Here.
Gordon.
Here.
Joycelyn. Here. Ron. Lori. Dr. Pandolfi. Present. Thank you. We have a quorum. Ron.
Do we know, is Michelle on the way or?
Michelle's on the line.
She's on the line.
Yeah.
But on the way or?
No, she'll just be online.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next matter is to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion on that?
So moved. Second.
So moved and second, we approve the agenda.
I'd like to make a correction.
Mhm.
I was at the last meeting, but I'm not listed. I'm listed in other places on the agenda, but not. We're talking about minutes.
Okay, we'll pick up that in the consent agenda.
This is the minutes of the last meeting that were approved.
I move that we amend the amendments to include Rita's presence.
Yeah, we'll do that in the consent agenda.
We're at the
Okay, let's just, it's been moved into secondly, we put the agenda for today's meeting. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the next matter is to approve the consent agenda. And we noted Rita's comment that it should be amended to include her.
Apologize for that.
So can we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second.
We moved and second, we approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? We will note that you were in attendance. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstaining. Okay, thank you. Now we move to visitors' comments. First of all, thank you for being here. The bylaws that we've inherited provide a half an hour in the aggregate. So how you allocate that time among yourselves is entirely your option. Just a comment, not a recommendation, is that there are 10 visitors who want to speak. So if you want to voluntarily limit yourself to roughly 3 minutes, that'll allow everybody to 3 minutes. But again, there are no provisions that say how long anybody has. So if you want to do it 3 minutes, I think that'd be appreciated, but you're not stuck with it. So we have, I have a list of people in alphabetical order. You can do it in alphabetical order or whoever races to the podium first. It makes no difference. This is your time. So we have Laura, Yuri, Christopher, Jonathan, Jordan, Arthur, Daniel, Julia, Jill, and Sally. So
I was supposed to.
you want to go first?
Well, I was supposed to be on that list.
And I'm supposed to be on that list too. That's really.
Jonna and Yuri.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead. I'll go first.
Okay. Say the name.
Yeah,
Okay. You got it.
thanks. So my name is Jonna Laswell. I am the Early Literacy Associate at the Blue Ridge branch. I've been here since November 2021, and since that time, we have never been fully staffed. We have lost staff because Mid-Continent has been unable to meet the basic needs of its employees. Being short-staffed means that many that were hired in specialized positions have had to divert their attention away from the duties for which they were hired. In our branch, we work with those who are without internet or computer in their home, and many are even houseless individuals. Most of our time with customers is spent teaching them computer literacy so they have the tools they need to be successful in a digital world that they cannot afford. This does require a lot of one-on-one interactions with people. As an early literacy associate, I spend a good portion of my time assisting customers with the computers, and some of my duties will be pushed off or completely set aside. Our community and parents desire more story times and children's activities that we unfortunately don't have the staffing for. We must be pulled elsewhere so we can miss fewer interactions. However, sometimes even those needs cannot be met. This staffing issue is not the fault of my managers. They are great and do everything they can to fill in the gaps, but they are being stretched thin as our staff. The problem is here with the board. The board is telling our customers that this is our new normal and that we will be unable to meet their needs. Please listen to the voters. And I would appreciate if board members stayed in here while I spoke.
Thank you. Do you want to go next? Sure.
Sally Sargent.
Thank you, Sally.
I'm here tonight representing the Colburn Road, Big County Library branch. I represent the Cafe Clutch Book Club, headed by Carrie Maley. We were informed at our last meeting that we were not going to be able to get together anymore after the first of the year. We were going to be disbanded. Our manager, Seth Moses, he came in at the tail end of our club meeting and kind of really caught us off guard. Pretty much said, you know, it's over for you guys. We're not going to do this anymore. We were told, we heard that this was not a board approved thing, that all these book clubs were being removed from this particular branch. And I don't know if that's true or not, but our club members are made up of, you know, senior citizens, women who have stuck it out with this club since, well, I've been with the club and my sister has been with the club since 2016. Most of the women in our club are in their 60s, 70s, and it's an important part of their lives. They don't drive at night, you know, they don't see well. And now, you know, this is their safe place to go and socialize. And during the pandemic, the ones that are with me tonight, plus a couple others that weren't able to come, we met on Zoom with Carrie every month without fail. And this, that was our life, you know. And so I'm here to ask that this decision be reversed. I looked at the Mid-Continent activity sheet that comes out, the weekly letter, and I checked out our branch versus the others. All the clubs are staying intact, although they do seem to lean to children a lot. Our club, our particular branch has a lot of toddlers and baby readings, stuff going on, preschools, which is fine, but we're not a daycare center either. We're a library. And we were told when they tore down the library, we stuck it out with the library and then rebuilding the library. We voted on our tax, you know, we're voters, we voted for this. And now, you know, we're having this all taken away. We want a librarian-led book club. We don't want to form our own. He told us, oh, you can form your own and we'll give you the books. That's not what we wanted. So I don't know if any of you read the emails that we sent over this week from the ladies, but three of them are here tonight with me. And Dr. Peggy Ward Smith, she's semi-retired. Joy Fuller is not here, but she works as a school teacher at the I think she's going to go teach at UMKC now, but she's a younger woman, but she also comes to the club and met with us on Zoom when she was able to get away from classes. Barbara Dooley, she's not with us this evening. She's a retired librarian. She says that this club was the only place, you know, she had to do during the pandemic other than take walks. This was it. Ann Shell, my sister, she's a retired insurance broker. Jackie Harrison used to run a retail shop. She's here tonight. Linda, I can't pronounce her last name. Linda Bryden and Janice Cassio, they're not here. Betty Roeder and I'm Sally Sargent. I'm an active real estate agent here in the metro area. I've been in the business for 48 years. So I'm saying all this because our book club is full of women that are retired, semi-retired, and intelligent people who still want to be involved in the community, and we feel like we're just being tossed aside. And because the other libraries aren't doing it, and I checked all the other book clubs, and there's none that had the hours that this one had that was for us. I belonged to 5 book clubs at one time, 5 different libraries. And there was one thing that I thought was kind of humorous, a little bit humorous, was 2 things. On Friday morning, my husband called me into the living room to show me the Fox 4 News, where there were 2 librarians from one of our Mid-Continent libraries. I don't know if anybody here saw that segment, pushing the libraries for Mid-Continent Library. I mean, they were really pushing it, talking about how great and wonderful it was. And I thought, and now here they're taking ours away at our branch, and ours is a large branch. It's not like, some little bitty place. And then there was one other thing that Seth said. One of the girls, Joy Fuller, she sent me this quote, and that was in one of those emails too. But Seth said that when the new library opened, that the library was the heart of the community. And, the first thing I did when I started collecting Social Security was join all those book clubs, because I knew as an active person and mentally active realtor for so many years, so busy, I knew I was going to need something to get me over that hump between working and retiring. And it was the books, because I'd never had time to read before. So we're reading books we never would have read. We furthered our education. We didn't have to go to college to pay for it. And, I think this is pretty awful that they're doing, the girls are here to support me, but I think it's pretty awful. So I state our case. And I'm stating the case not just for our one little book club, but I think Carrie runs, I think she has 2 other book clubs that have a lot of ladies in them. In fact, my sister and I were in the original one that Carrie ran, and we volunteered to split off from that because she had too many in that club. So we formed a second club within the group. So, we really enjoyed, I can't believe that we've been there since 2016, but that's the truth. So I guess I'm assured that you guys saw all these emails from these ladies, because I can get them to send them again. If there's somebody here that hasn't seen them, probably got tired of hearing from them. But, I just feel like the trivia nights that were suggested, we don't even know what that was about. We kind of glossed over. Instead of the book clubs, the people that would be interested in reading books, they would get together for trivia at night, which most of us don't want to drive at night. That was a stretch to be here tonight. We don't want to drive at night. We want to be out late. And we're really not interested in trivia night. And if they can do that, they want to do that for the younger people, that's fine. But let's not forget what the library is about. It's a place for people to go to be safe and not have to go to a bar or something, to mingle with your friends. You always go to the library. It's a beautiful library. I think it's a great library. So I guess I don't know how this works, or when you guys make decisions, or how long it takes you, or do you make it tonight, or I don't really want to stay here really late waiting for you guys to have your closed door meetings. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Lori Green, and I'm a citizen of Clay County. I've been an avid user of the library since my childhood. I'm an educator, a school librarian, and a parent who's raised children to use the library. I'm also a former employee of the North Oak branch. I'm here to express my dismay about the board decision to reduce the library levy by $4 million, and therefore causing the previously passed budget to be amended to cover for this loss of revenue. I am saddened by the recommendation of the Finance Committee when Stephen Potter warned you in the proposed budget that it will take a while for MCPL to know what normal will really looks like. I do appreciate this opportunity to express my concerns. Mid-Continent provides literary skills through Read Through 1000 before kindergarten, storybook for young families, story time for young families, teacher assist program, summer and winter reading promotions, book clubs, delivery of books and programming to nursing homes, as well as the mini databases that are available at both at the library and virtually. We offer technology services such as Wi-Fi, computers, copiers, and printers for those in our community that do not have access to these now essential resources at their homes. The best thing is that the library is free for everyone. This is where equity comes into play. It provides places of retreat in the warmest and coldest weather for people who have nowhere to go. What will happen to all these services now that you are cutting the budget? Who will be the most likely ones to suffer? My guess is that those that have lower incomes and who rely on the free services of the library. Children, the disabled, the elderly, those who are without a permanent place to live. Where is the equity in that? Your own mission statement reads, Mid-Continent Public Library's mission is to enrich our citizens and communities through expanding access to innovation, information, ideas, and inspiration. How do you expand access when you cut a budget? Tax savings are expected to be about $12 a year for most citizens. Many of the users of the library get their money's worth in just one checkout. Most of the libraries in the Mid-Continent Public Library system are in Jackson County, yet there was only one Jackson County representative on the Finance Committee. Why is that? Shouldn't each committee have equal representation from each county? When I read the minutes of the Finance Committee meeting that you were proposing, I saw that John Laney from Jackson County opposed the recommendations that you were proposing, but he was outnumbered by the other two counties. My research tells me the population of Jackson is twice that of Clay and Platte counties together. Their income, though, is substantially lower than Clay and Platte counties. Yet trustees of Clay and Platte counties are making decisions that will greatly affect the people of Jackson County. For what reason? Is it so that you can go back to your communities with the large landowners and few buddies in Clay and Platte County who are benefiting from the tax relief in these economic hard times, when the rest of us who are being equally hit during the inflationary times are getting services taken away? Where is the equity? Where is the compassion? The values listed in board policy include intellectual freedom, inclusion, innovation, service, stewardship, and trust. Your recent decisions with the elimination of programs like Trans 101, discussion of censoring books and displays, and budget cuts make me wonder if you have the values needed to be on this board. I just need my water bottle really fast, sorry. The biggest problem with the levy cut is that you have violated the will of the people. You promised them in Prop L that their tax money will be used to improve the libraries and their services. These people are who you should be listening to, not from your own point of view or influenced by political factors or large land owning buddies. We have seen improvements in our buildings, materials, services, accessibility, and programming. Now all these improvements that we have come to take for granted will be sacrificed. The new levy rate will stay in effect until 2024. It took us 30 years to pass this levy increase. What if counties also cut their taxes? Then we even have more places in the budget that must be cut. This is not good fiscal planning on the part of the board. I don't understand how you can look at the community members sitting in front of you, as well as those who didn't make it tonight, and feel good about the betrayal of their desires as set forth through their vote on Prop L. In my opinion, we need an overhaul of the Finance Committee and many on the board who are voting based on their own political moves and not for the benefit of the whole. You represent all community members, not just those who share your political and religious affiliations. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Dan Purdom. I live in Liberty, Clay County, Missouri. voted for Prop L in 2016 because I wanted to support the continued opportunities Mid-Continent Public Library provides to my community and my family. I'm angry that as a board, you would disregard the will of your fellow citizens who voted to increase the funding for our libraries and to grow its programs. I own a small startup flour mill, Hawthorne Flour, making all grain flours. I've been renting space in the Innovation Center in Independence for just over a year. I was excited about a possible move to the commercial kitchen space to be opened at Green Hills. A chance to bring my business north of the river. But because of the recent budget cuts and no sense of where this board is going, I'm not going to consider moving to the new facility. A business requires stability and trustworthy partners to be successful. The recent decisions don't provide for either one of these. I'm from Clay County, so to my Clay County trustees, including the president, please know it's never too late to do the right thing. Given the trajectory you've created, there will come a time to reduce services and programs. And given the statements, the public statements by the Platte County trustees and the Platte County Commission, I'd say give them what they asked for. All future cuts and reductions should come from the Platte County facilities. That's who's asked for it. As our representatives, our Clay County trustees should remember you live and work among us. Your decisions are not going unnoticed. We ask that you do the right thing and protect our Mid-Continent Public Library and its needed services and programs for your fellow Clay County citizens. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Jill Rogers. I'm a Clay County resident and a middle school librarian in the North Kansas City School District. I also am addressing the issue that the previous speakers have with the Prop L and the recent tax levy reduction. But I do have a little bit different perspective being a librarian myself and seeing the benefits that our students and their families receive from Mid-Continent Public Library. I won't go through the laundry list. I think Lori did a really good job of talking about all of the great free services that families in the community benefit from with the library. And I have seen that firsthand with our students and their families as well. The MCPL system is a valuable community partner for my school district, providing such a wide variety of free resources. North Kansas City school libraries at all grade levels collaborate with MCPL staff to significantly expand the scope of resources that we have the ability to provide to district families. Students in my building and their families represent a broad range of socioeconomic levels and languages. Many have just moved to our country in the last few weeks or months. So free resources provided by Mid-Continent are critical for helping them connect to our community. In the Missouri Public Library Trustee Manual, it says the #1 job of a library trustee is to serve as an advocate for your library. Trustees should be sharing the library story far and wide to all they meet. And that's the end of the quote. I'm not sure what story this board is trying to share, but they are currently disregarding the wishes of the voting public and doing a huge disservice to our community. I do not understand why a board of trustees tasked with upholding the values of and advocating for the institution it serves would decide that saving the average taxpayer $5 a year against the taxpayer's own wishes and at the expense of valuable services is sound stewardship of funds. I realize that as appointed trustees, you are not directly accountable to avoid voting public to retain your positions, but the commissioners who appointed you are. And I hope the growing awareness of these decisions will guide voters accordingly in November. In a recent conversation I had with Clay County Commissioner Jerry Nolte, in which I questioned him about the appropriateness of the library board's decision to reduce the tax levy, he claimed that the library had been operating under a surplus. That is a misnomer. A library system is not a manufacturer who produces a tangible, finite product with a specific production cost. Libraries are in the business of developing inquiry, providing community members with open access to information, facilitating an open exchange of ideas, and supporting lifelong learners. The budget for that is whatever the public chooses to support, not an amount defined by a few people's subjective idea of what that product is worth. When I'm entrusted with a designated budget for my school library each year, it is my job to spend the money responsibly for library materials, resources, and programming benefiting my library patrons, the students. It would be irresponsible of me to only spend a portion of the budget and say that I decided the rest was a surplus that the students don't really need. More library funding allows more opportunity for creative and innovative programming and services. Additionally, cutting an actual surplus from a budget would not require cuts in operations, which MCPL is now facing, likely resulting in unfilled staff positions, reduced operating hours, and fewer library resources than patron demand warrants. It should be a telling sign to the public that many MCPL administration and staff, professionals with advanced degrees and training in the field of librarianship, are largely against the board's effort to cut the budget. I hope growing media coverage and citizen involvement will help shine more light on an historical pattern of board trustees serving more as roadblocks to MCPL's mission than advocates for it, including public criticism of programming and materials selection decisions, pressure on branches to cancel events welcoming certain segments of the community, and now budget cuts that will limit the library's service and scope. So clearly, we see MCL serving a greater good in the community, some real problems with the reasoning of the budget cuts, and negative impacts the cuts will have. I plan to let my vote in November speak for my dissatisfaction with recent board actions, and I will encourage the same of others. The board's own strategic plan states, the library believes trust underlies success, and that trust is built through integrity, fairness, and reliability. In the end, I stand with the 63% of voters who decided library services for their community are a priority, not a surplus to be stripped away by an unelected and politically motivated group of 8 people.
My name is Jordan Noland. I've worked at MCPL for nearly 4 years. I'm a full-time customer service associate at the Colburn Road branch. I take care of a lot of behind-the-scenes operations at the library, such as supplies ordering, passport appointments, periodicals, label repairs, furniture moving, room reservations, passport appointments, voter registration, receiving and delivering mail, the bank deposit, tech help, desk work, and passport appointments, to name a few. Earlier this year, my branch was lucky enough to hire several part-time staff members in order to lighten our load. Since then, many of those new staff members have left for school or moved on to better, higher-paying jobs. Now, because of proposed budget cuts, we've been unable to hire back most of those positions. The fewer staff there are to run the desk, the less time we can devote to our community in the form of in-house programming, book groups, as you've heard, and so much more. The library will do everything it can to hide these cuts from the public. We'll be expected to pick up that extra work with a smile, no raise included, and continue providing the level of service this community has come to expect. However, this board has made it its mission to bury Mid-Continent's record of excellence. A good service for less money, this board said. Certainly less money to its well-deserving staff, but good service, not great or excellent service, not even well-funded service, just good. When I signed up to work for Mid-Continent, I didn't sign up for some bargain brand bookmobile. I was signing up to work for an outstanding library system that was well-respected in my community, a system that our community voted to fund for better service, a system that wants to see our communities thrive. This board has tarnished that image. You've worked against us at every turn. You claim that you wish to save our community's money by slashing our budget, a whopping $5 per taxpayer. We're on the threshold of another recession. Inflation is rising. In times like these, communities rely on their libraries for free access to resources, whether that be books or free internet, a free place to work and gather, or a free place to learn. We cannot meet our community's needs without proper funding. Our communities want excellent service, and we want to give it to them. So get out of our way and let us do our jobs.
My name is Yuri Ito, and I have worked at MCPL as a part-time employee for over 11 years. Currently, I serve as a Customer Service Associate 1 or CSA 1 at Colburn Road. For the past 10 years, I was in the same position at North Independence Branch. I moved over to save gas money. It's now 5 miles compared to 10. As you know, part-time staff provide much of the frontline services to our customers. Yet many of us are struggling to make rent and maintain the cars used to get to work. Without health insurance or paid sick days, some employees find themselves covering shifts even when they're sick and possibly contagious because they can't afford to see a doctor or miss a day's wages. Some are balancing 2 or more part-time jobs just to survive. A staffing model that relies so heavily on part-time employees could better reflect their value to MCPL through improved benefits. This would allow them to provide the excellent service we are all accustomed to. Last year, part-time staff didn't even receive their usual merit bonus that others received. It seems reasonable then that the benefits could better reflect the importance of your increasing part-time staffing model so that MCPL can continue to provide award-winning services. Thank you for allowing me to share these concerns with you all today.
Good evening. My name is Jim Oldebecken from Gladstone, Missouri. Thank you for the opportunity. I consider this the most sacred spot in our society. Anytime we have the right to express all 5 of our rights and responsibilities under the First Amendment in one spot, talking to all of you. I know it is important for us to be effective as citizens, to contribute to the process by being informed in advance, organized, collaborative, and prepared. I seek to do that tonight. I wish to just get to the point. I have my own concerns, I think different from those already expressed. My primary concern here has to do with government body or by its majority, which I have expressed to you in previous meetings. And there's possibly now a more serious issue that you'll hear about at the end of my comments. I want to tell you about a book I'm reading that's in your collection. Mercy Otis Warren wrote the history of the American Revolution. She lived before, during, and after it, and published the authoritative history that still stands today. There's a common word in there that I have seen over the last couple of weeks as I read this pretty much every morning, the word arbitrary, as applied to government. She described it as the primary reason to leave for the New World. Eminent citizens in Great Britain, elsewhere, who decided to brave these challenges and start a new nation. And then also the reason to go to war or declare independence, which brought in the invasion. Arbitrary in governance. This phrase describes affronts to more notable words and concepts such as justice, freedom, liberty, and equality under the law. Even our own Pledge of Allegiance, which I wish we would say here at every meeting. The pledge includes liberty and justice for all. Arbitrary refers to government leaders who know and have full possession of applicable laws and those self-evident principles, ethics, but often, even under the full light of day, opt to ignore, deform, or abuse the law to suit party politics, personal gain, homegrown despotism, other matters. I understand that this body and the library have many laws to obey. The United States Constitution with its Bill of Rights, namely the 5 protections of the First Amendment. Can all of you name them? The library is about freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom from having religion coming down your throat and being told what you can read and believe, freedom of assembly, and freedom to petition government for a redress of grievances, which I think is what some of us are doing at this very moment. Also, We have a state of Missouri statute specific to the operation of libraries, and very importantly, the Missouri Sunshine Law, laws and ordinances of city governments. But there's more best practices in this type of institution, a public library. There is the Missouri Public Library Trustee Manual issued by our Secretary of State, the American Library Association Code of Ethics. Policies and requirements codified at previous meetings for this body, and parliamentary procedures universally in place within Robert's Rules of Order. Under a separate communication, I have a question I'll write to you about. I'm wondering if you subscribe to those four. Regarding Robert's Rules and parliamentary procedure, I have some concerns. At the last meeting I attended, there were several people in this room talking over other members. That's not good. That's never appropriate in a government meeting or any official meeting. It's evident in the video. You may not see it in the minutes, but watch the video. It's very disconcerting to the public that's trying to participate in that meeting. It's also evident that several in this body, especially the chair, failed to know how to consider a duly made amendment to a motion on the floor. And I was shocked at as much as the chair, an attorney, and this matter and the controversy about it had to be mitigated by the library's attorney. For my review of this, I'm going to conclude. From my review of existing public records of this body, it appears that some of this body may have failed to comply with the Missouri Sunshine Law. The law itself provides for remedies. They can be found in 610.027.5. I encourage everyone in this room to read the Missouri Sunshine Law brochure published by Attorney General Schmidt. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And who's next?
Julia Ryder.
Teresa, take your time.
Oh, yeah, that, we had two other persons. I don't see Christopher. Julia Ryder. And Christopher. Four. And that should be all we have for the visitors' comments.
Point of inquiry.
Sure.
My name's Tracy Darby. I sent an email to the secretary. She said that she would forward it to you. Did you receive it?
Yeah, it's in visitors' comments.
Yeah, there were over 50 different.
I have a specific question though.
Okay, we can't comment that right now because we do that. You know, again, the sunshine law is referred to. That would become a topic that has to be on the agenda. But I'd be glad to talk with you after the meeting or something if you want. Or I'm sure anybody else would too.
I just want the question answered. I don't know why we can't ask who made this decision. Did every single person here vote for the reduction? Every single one of you.
No.
Who voted no? Raise your hands, please.
It's in the minutes. It's in the minutes.
That's my question.
Available with the last
So-
word.
Can you hand her the document that has the minutes in it? See?
What gives you the authority to override the voters that voted this to the Mid-Continent Library? I'm 62 years old. I've been going to the Mid-Continent Libraries since I was 8 years old. My mom, who was a teacher, my departed mother, Judith Darby, she taught at Raytown Junior/Middle School. She felt safe leaving my brother and me at the Mid-Continent Public Library. What gives you the right to undermine the voters' will? How dare you? How dare you take that away from the voters? We voted for it. Shouldn't you ask us if we want to decrease it? If you want to decrease it, you should bring it back to us. Voters. We voted for it. Now you're arbitrarily taking it away from us? Taking away something that 62% voted for. Why? There is no logical reason why. Nobody has provided an answer why. There's no reason. It makes no sense. I am disgusted by all of you that voted yes. You're going against the will of the voters. Why? What instigated this? What started this? What brought this even to the light of day for you to vote on? Why? Why? There's no reason. You're going against the voters. I want to know why, and I want you to rescind this because the voters are responsible for you being here. Mr. President, she's out of order. Yes, I am out of order. Thank you. You were out of order too for
No
being
comments,
disrespectful.
Ma'am, keep your comments back and forth.
As we go on to the remainder of our business.
Teresa, what? Keep in track of the
I
time.
was saying that that's all on the visitors. that we have to speak.
That was the half hour. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, the next matter of business is any award recognition.
Yes, one recognition. Mid-Continent has been certified gold by the Healthy KC Semi-Annual Health and Wellness Certification Program. Healthy KC is part of the Kansas City Chamber of Commerce focused on workplace wellness. The aim of the program is to recognize organizations for innovative and excellence in promoting a culture of health in the workplace. The assessment looks at the organization's activities in 5 areas: healthy eating, active living, tobacco cessation, work-life integration, and design-built environment. MCPL's wellness coordinator, Bonnie Witt, provides communication and recommends resources for employees to help them make choices to benefit their physical and mental health. We provide employees with access to short-term counseling and a referral service through our employee assistance programming. The program have smoke-free buildings and support employees who are new parents with paid parental. It's our goal to continue to look for ways to support the wellness of staff at and away from work. The criteria for this certification provides us with guidance that assists us in making decisions about where to direct the library resources that are available to us for this purpose.
That's it. Good, thank you. The next matter is the finance director's report.
Okay. Page 1 shows, page 1 is the summary of tax revenues we have received by the end of September. The amount of tax revenue received is over $930,000, which is about over 40% higher than last year. All the tax revenue we have received so far is delinquent tax revenue. The new 2022 tax revenue will start to come in late November. The total operating revenue is over $1.2 million, which is about 50% higher than last year. Page 2 is a summary of operating expenditures. For payroll and benefits, it's over $8.2 million, close to 24% of the budget. Library materials, we spent over $4.2 million, over 35% of the budget. We have paid a lot of databases at the beginning of the fiscal year.
The last section is the library operational accounts. We spent about $2.2 million, 20% of the budget. Those percentage is based on the proposed budget from May. Next page, page 3, is the debt service fund. The first half of the page is a schedule of payments we have made since the very beginning. We made 4 principal payments from 2019 and 4 interest payments from 2019. This year, in August, we made 1 interest payment, which is $1.4 million. The remaining balance is $58.7 million for principal. The early payoff date will be in 2026. Next page is the capital project fund. The report shows the list of approved capital projects. We have spent over $700,000 for new Riverside, including the land of $650,000. For capital improvement plan, we spent close to $3.2 million. The last page is the health insurance fund. The total amount of contributions from the library and the employees is over $900,000. The fixed costs is close to $300,000, and the medical claims is $590,000. The fund reserve at the end of the month is a little over $1.3 billion. That's my report for the month. And also in your board pack, there was a list on page 28, 29. There was a list of all payments we made in September. So that's my report for the month.
Any questions on that? All right, the next matter is our old business committee reports. The first matter is going to be the ad hoc committee, and it's going to be about a request to move to a closed session. We have a motion on that.
Yeah.
Can we specify this for personnel? I think those.
Yeah, it's on the work. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And a second.
Michael said that.
I'll second.
Okay, second. It's been moved and second that we move to closed session pursuant to the provisions of Missouri statute on the board. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, you should, I think going into a closed session, we should do a roll call vote.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor? Teresa, what you call? Yeah. Teresa, you call the roll, please.
Michelle,
Aye.
Dr. Wilson,
Aye.
Rita,
Aye.
Noel.
Aye.
Brent,
Yes.
Dr. Pandolfi,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Michael,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Gordon,
Yes.
Joycelyn,
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we have some technical stuff to take care of, and we'd like to excuse everybody